Hello. Hi, everyone. We're going to talk about Season 8, Episode 2 of Game of Thrones.
Yes, we are.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Christeena.
And you're watching Game of Tones.
Where are my dragons?
What did you think of the episode?
Okay, overall, I really liked this episode.
Me too.
And I've seen a few people not so happy about it.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody on my Facebook posted that they're sick and tired of filler episodes. And my dad was not... He didn't seem to be that big of a fan of it either.
Okay.
But I really liked it. I liked it better
too.
than the first episode.
Yeah.
I like seeing this side of the characters, you know?
I do too.
It was a lot. It was like a fun episode.
Yeah. And there's a lot to talk about. I'm excited.
Yeah. I really liked it.
I laughed and I cried.
Yeah.
I did cry?
Too, yeah. Well, I got teary-eyed. I mean,
I did
tears
too.
didn't come down my cheeks,
Mhm.
but I did get teary-eyed.
Same. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same time, too, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay. So I watched it last night with my husband,
Mhm.
and then he said, "You want to watch it again?" And so we watched it immediately afterwards again. And the second time I took notes.
Yeah.
I don't like taking notes the first time. I like to just absorb and see.
I was definitely more, like, there when I watched it last night.
Mhm.
I paid attention more fully because, like, we talked about things in the first episode that I'd missed, like Brienne being there.
Yeah.
I missed that in the first episode. It just wasn't looking at the background. We watch it with subtitles as well, and it's hard for me sometimes to not.
Why do you watch it
only...
with subtitles?
It's a habit
Okay.
from my mom always watching TV with subtitles.
Yeah.
And then
Her mom's hard of hearing.
Yeah, and so it's just like a habit for me now. It feels
Gotcha.
weird to watch a show without subtitles.
Okay.
Also, like, having a kid and stuff, it kind of does help to make sure that I'm not going to miss anything. But sometimes I have a hard
Gotcha.
time, like, watching the show and not just reading it.
Yes, I can.
Because I'm just dedicated to
Right.
reading.
And all. And also, when you watch something for the first time, it's hard to take everything in.
Yeah,
For sure.
I felt myself trying to do that more so this episode than the first.
Okay.
But I think it was for the better.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, the notes I have go scene by scene. Do you want to go scene by scene again?
Yeah, I really liked doing that last time, so
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I could really feel the anticipation, like, being built up for this battle scene.
Yeah.
But with everything being so calm and chill, and it just seemed like a lot of fun.
It was. There was a lot of
Yeah.
really fun, like, hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
We might die soon. Moments.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Okay. Alright, so the first thing that happens is we open up on Jaime's trial, was
Yeah.
what I'm calling it. And Bran says to him, "The things we do for love."
Yeah.
And it's
oh
like-
my gosh.
He definitely knows now, of course.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what happened to him.
A burned moment.
And Brienne vouches for him.
She does.
And I love that moment so much.
I do too. And I really liked how she paused and, like, really thought about Sansa's questions.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just immediately being like, yes, she was, you know, really, like, taking it in and really weighing, like, would I trust him with my life?
And I was thinking, like, she was really trying to convey to her what a good person she felt like Jaime was.
And how much she truly felt that, as opposed to, like, sometimes waiting and hesitating and, like, letting it sink in means more than, like, answering right off the bat.
Right.
And I think she really got that across in this episode.
Her acting is so good.
So good.
I love her
I
so
love
much.
her so much.
Yeah. So when that whole thing is over, Jon just gets up and walks away from Dany. And so you know that there's, like...
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna admit here, though, it took me, like, 10 minutes of this episode to remember why he was avoiding her. Because I was like, oh yeah, he's too busy for you. And then it was another scene, I think, when they were, like, over the map, and he walked away.
Right.
And I was like, oh yeah!
We're waiting on
I
him
just
to-
honestly was like, oh yeah, he knows now, that's right. I kept forgetting about that.
That's funny. And Dany is upset with Tyrion. And they
Yeah.
kind of make a deal out of this in this episode, and I wonder if it's going to be important somehow.
I don't know. You know, I was slightly confused by that whole thing because it's like she's upset that Cersei isn't bringing the army and that Tyrion was wrong. But, like, calm down,
Right.
okay? Like, people are wrong. What's the big deal? Like, also, it's Cersei. And who said to her, well, you trusted Cersei too? Sansa, that's right.
I love
And
that
I
scene.
was like,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, well, so did you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Right.
I feel like we just said yeah a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah.
We do that a lot in our videos.
Yeah.
I've noticed. So
We just agree with each other
we
a lot.
really do.
I'll just say agreed.
Agreed. Okay. Then Arya convinces Gendry to make her weapon. Do you remember that scene where she goes, he's like putting the steam, like putting out the, what do you call it? The iron in the steam in the water, and it steams up, and he's all like sexy.
Yeah.
And she's looking at him, and it's like,
I just can't stop thinking about how much I'm saying yeah right now, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like that scene though.
I love the moment when she throws the knives.
I saw a meme. Sorry, y'all. And it was some guy, I'm assuming from a TV show or something, and he was like, it was him saying, I was really scared, but I was also kind of hard. And it was like, Gendry. And I was like, yeah.
That's exactly what my husband said, actually. She threw the 3 knives, and he was like, he just got a boner. That's what he said. So, yeah. And then she's like, oh, she walks by him, and she's like, so my weapon? He's like, I'll get right on it.
I also love how she did point out, like, when he was describing the White Walkers or whatever, and she was like, oh, that's the best you can do. And she's like, I've seen death. Death has many faces.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, yes.
Right. Yeah, I love that moment, too. That was good.
Where she's like, listen, people, I'm not a little girl anymore. And, yeah, because no one really knows what she's done, what she's been through, you know?
Yeah.
And I think she does have to kind of prove herself in this.
She has had to.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take much.
Oh, no. Just throw a few knives.
Yeah. Right. And John still doesn't know, really.
No. Okay. That reminded me of Bran, but
Okay.
we'll get there.
Okay. Oh, well, then it's Bran and Jamie in the Godswood. He immediately apologizes to him for throwing him out
I
a
guess.
window.
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
And he's like, why didn't you tell them? He's like, well, we need you in this fight. We need everybody.
Yeah, and I only watched it once, and it was really late last night, but I may be getting some scenes confused, but where Jamie had said that he would do everything again because he was doing it, like, for his family.
First scene.
Yeah, and I thought, like, yeah,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
You
thought it
can't
was
fault
fair.
him for that.
Yeah, no, of course. He shouldn't go back on killing the king.
No.
You know, the king was a horrible, horrible person.
Yeah. Bran was pretty chill, though.
Yeah. Well, he's always
Which we knew that he would be.
Yeah.
So, he's just like,
yeah.
I am what I am now.
Okay, so then Jamie's like, okay, well, what about afterwards? Are you going to tell them afterwards? And he's like, how do you know there's going to be an afterwards? And I was like, Bran.
Yeah.
Not instilling a whole lot of confidence.
Nope.
So, gosh. Then there's Tyrion and Jamie's scene where they're walking through the camp.
It was kind of a nice, like, brother moment to come back together. Because
It was.
I think, isn't it?
They've always been friends.
Yeah, because Tyrion said Jamie was the only one growing up that was ever remotely nice to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tyrion said something like, you always knew what Cersei was. You just chose to ignore it.
You chose to love her anyway, or despite of it, or something like that. Yeah.
Right. I feel like they did the same thing with Joffrey, too.
Yeah.
Bleh, bleh, bleh. And then Jamie sees Brienne from the high place
Yeah.
that they are. From the top of Winterfell. She's training
Podrick. Yeah.
And she's all proud of him for being so good at what he does.
And I was like, is that Podrick? Because his hair is longer now.
Oh.
And I'm used to it being just slightly shorter. And so I was like, oh yeah, that is Podrick.
And then he says, yeah, I want to fight for you. I would love to have the honor to fight under you or under your command or something. And
which meant a lot, I think.
And the moment they had where he was like, she's like, so what are you doing? We've never had a conversation this long without you insulting me. And he's like, do you want me to insult you? And she's like, no. And he says, good. And then there's silence.
Yeah.
I think I want them to be together.
I do too.
And as much as I love Tormund and Bran.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I
don't know. I don't think that would happen.
No,
I think that's just like a fun little thing.
It is. And they really drove it home this episode with him being kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the whole vibes between Brienne and Jamie just being so heartwarming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
I think like they have just such a deep connection that
yeah, I do too. And they spent so much time together and they really know each other.
And he lost his hand for her, so
yeah. For her honor. Okay, and then I just put this in here. There's a short scene where Jorah vouches for Tyrion to Dany. And
that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just more, like, I feel like this is going to be something, and I don't know what.
I just don't understand where it's entirely, like, I get it. It's just because Cersei didn't come with her army, but, like, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm like, really? I don't know why I don't know why this is a deal.
Right. I just feel like every scene that we have is so important. So anytime they give anything time, any conversation is like a really,
and they're like
have to
making
analyze
a
it.
point of like Tyrion being needed.
Also, she told him to go down to the crypts, which I thought was interesting.
I did too,
We're not
yeah.
there yet, but
Yeah.
we're on the subject.
Yeah.
And the whole scene ends with a zoom out of Tyrion's face from the, I guess the parapets, is that the right word? And so I wonder if he's gonna go down. I don't know. Or if he's gonna stay.
He did seem pretty adamant about fighting, which
He did. But, and he's also...
well, and after everything he's been through, I think, yeah, hands down, he would want to help.
Yeah.
And be there.
But he also was just like, yeah, I'll stay since you guys need me so much. You need my brain, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was another moment where I wonder if Ser Jorah coming up to her led her to say to Tyrion, I want you safe.
I think so.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
Because she was definitely not happy with him. And then after that, she was like, yeah, I do need you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay, and then we have a Dany and Sansa moment
Oh, man.
that we alluded to. Okay, so they have this...
That was intense. Also,
It was.
like, okay, I just have to say, like, I dislike Sansa so much, but
You
like,
do?
not now, man.
No, I love her
she
now.
really held her own
She
against
does.
her, and
Yeah.
I was like, yes, yes, because Sansa's like, listen, like, that's fine, but what about the North?
Right.
And I was like getting chills, like the tone that she was using and the emphasis she put on North. I was just like, ooh, I don't know. There was just,
I really like who
Yeah.
she has become now.
I do too.
That was one of my favorite moments of this episode. There was that moment where Dany was like, I can't help but feel that we're at odds with one another. And it kind of felt a little awkward. But at the same
whole
time...
thing felt awkward to me because
It
I don't
did
like
feel-
conflict anyway.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm just like,
But at the same time, after that, I felt it was like heartwarming. When she was like, who was the one manipulated here,
yeah.
I've only wanted to take the Iron Throne, but I'm doing this now for Jon, or it's Jon's
Okay,
war.
well, I have to. Go
Me
ahead.
too. No, me too. It's not Jon's war, it's everyone's war, and
yeah,
that's
I
why
didn't
she's
like
there.
that. I didn't
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
I was like, excuse me.
Right.
Without him warning everybody and getting this together, like, you guys wouldn't stand a chance at all.
Well, no, that's right. But they wouldn't stand a chance either without Dany and her dragons.
Which
and
is true.
And so that's when Sansa apologized and she said, I should have thanked you as soon as you came. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought that was nice. And then she's
Yeah.
like, well, and also what about the North?
I think Sansa is, like, willing to work with her, but now I feel like Dany is being more like, no.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like she's not willing to compromise.
Oh, I see.
Is what I mean.
Yeah, especially
and Sansa
after...
is, which I think is great and the more adult decision right now in this situation.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you want assurance of like, well, listen, we are the North, so what about the effing North?
And there was, a king in the North.
Yeah.
For so long.
Yeah.
The 7 kingdoms were kingdoms individually, and then they were brought together, united under the Targaryens.
Right.
And so, they want to be their own kingdom again, which is understandable after having so many terrible rulers.
Yeah.
And
that's what they've been working towards. Even when Robb was wanting to be king, weren't they going to work with Stannis or Renly or somebody to also be king?
Yeah.
But
right.
Robb was just going to be king in the North or something. I'm currently reading the second book, so I'm in the midst of that right now. So
Yeah, cool.
it's really helping give me like that background to remember these things
Yeah.
as this current season is going on. So
Right.
that's really good.
That's cool.
Like they're just now starting to talk about Ramsay Bolton and like the bastard and he's doing terrible things out there. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's off topic. So yeah, I really did like that. And then like, I don't know, the whole hand on the hand thing felt like weird to me.
No, I thought...
But then when she took it away, I was like,
Yeah, I didn't like that so much. She says, what about the North? And they're interrupted.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, dang it. but Theon is back.
Yeah.
He somehow made it from King's Landing to Winterfell.
Very quickly, I will say.
Before Tormund made it back from Last Hearth.
Yeah. Very quickly.
Just very quickly.
Just pointing that out here.
Did you feel that too? You're like, oh, he's back soon.
No, I actually didn't think about that, but yes, that's a good point.
Well, when he was telling Yara that he was going to go fight for the North, I was like, how's he going to get there in time?
He just jumped off the side. You know?
Okay, that's funny.
Okay, I have to ask though, I don't remember how him and Sansa left. And
he saved her from the Boltons.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure that she was there, like they were there together while they were both kind of like getting tortured by Ramsay. And I thought that he did, but I wanted to be sure.
Yeah. So she kind of knows what he's gone through.
And obviously it was a super emotional.
It was very emotional.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how emotional I felt.
Well, I think I would have been more emotional in that moment if I had rewatched the seasons, but I didn't. Right. It's been like last year, the year before since I've seen it, so
yeah.
For me, I was like, I think he helped her.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she knows I'm pretty sure she was there while he was tortured. So
I don't know that she ever saw him being tortured, but she definitely saw him being controlled by Ramsay. Yeah. And then she was under his thumb too.
Right.
And they had to escape together. Okay, and then there's Davos, and he's like handing out soup. Do you remember this?
Yes, with the little girl that wants to fight, and then I was like, ugh. And then Gilly was there, which is like the first time we've seen her. So I was happy to see her, and we see the baby.
Little Sam.
Yeah. I couldn't think of his name. I was having a brain
he
fart.
was so cute, and that was so sweet with them in the bed together.
Oh my gosh.
Also, Gilly looked kind of pregnant. Did you feel that way?
I thought she looked a little. I was gonna say meatier.
No, don't say that. She looked, she
did look a little.
But also, she was like kind of supposed to be at like Christena's where it was like food was scarce.
Yeah.
Also, and so now she's well fed. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But she did seem to have like a thing going on.
Yeah, but it was hard to tell with.
She had so much stuff
layers on. Right.
Yeah.
But I thought the way that she handled that little girl was super sweet.
It was so sweet.
Because I was like, what are you gonna tell her?
And Davos was just like heartbroken looking at her, and I just felt it.
Well, because in that moment, he was thinking of Stannis' daughter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
That's what I thought of, and I was like, oh.
Well, yeah, with that scar on her face.
And,
and she's like, okay, I'll defend the crypts then. You know? And,
takes her soup.
And, they're driving the fact that home, that, like, the crypts are the safest place.
Yeah, I'm really worried about that.
And
I don't think that's going to be the case.
I've heard a couple times, and I don't like this theory because I don't like it, but they were like, what if the Night King raises the dead from the crypts? I don't like that. I do not like that. Also, they're like, bones. How would they do that? I mean, Ned is literally...
They have skeletons. Okay,
they do.
In this, when they did the Suicide Squad one, and they were waiting for the water to freeze, and the Hound was throwing a stone, he hit one, and it was all skeleton.
Yeah.
So, like, well, no, wait. Can he raise the dead that he hasn't killed himself? I thought they had to be killed by White Walkers to be raised.
Maybe.
That's my impression.
Yeah.
Is that they had to be killed by White Walkers to be raised back from the dead. But I don't know that 100%.
I don't either.
Oh, no.
I know.
I'm scared now.
So,
no. And Tyrion is going to be in the crypt, so then it's down to Tyrion to be in the battle when he was supposed to be in the safe place.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's stressful.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Next.
Okay. Okay, and then Torrik. I just combined Tormund and Beric together. They come home from Winterfell, and Tormund's all, Lord Umber, they're going to be here before morning.
Yeah,
blah,
but
blah,
where's
blah.
the giant woman?
Yeah, is the big woman still here? And that was good.
Yeah.
I just want to put that in. Okay, then Jon gives a briefing. He's saying how you kill the White Walkers. They're all standing around the map.
I like that scene a lot.
I do too.
Yeah.
Although it felt like really late somehow. But I mean, I get it
How long
too.
did
You're
they-
about to go into battle.
I
you need
wonder
to-
how long they thought they had, though. You know what I mean? Like, in their minds, they were like, oh, we got a few weeks, or oh, we got a couple months. Like, I wonder how long they thought they had, because now it's like, no, you have like 12 hours, like, get on it.
Right.
And they're like, okay, everybody go rest. And I literally was like, yeah, no one's gonna go to sleep right now.
And they don't.
No. Oh, but that's the scene, sorry, where Bran was like, he's coming for me. And
Yeah.
I've seen this around, and I don't click on any articles that have any theories anymore because I just want to, like, not do that.
Yeah.
But I've seen some questions in articles as far as, like, who is his goal? Like, who is his aim? You know, who is his target? That's the word I'm looking for.
White Walker?
Yeah. The Night King, like, who is his target?
That made sense what Sam
And-
said.
So I wasn't thinking, I was like, what do you mean who is his target? He wants to kill everybody. I don't know. And then when they explained it about, like, being knight forever and forgetting everything,
It really put into, like, perspective, like, how important
Yeah.
he is, I guess.
Yeah. John's standing there and just looks at him, and I was like, so is this the first time John's hearing about this? Because he took it really well, if that's the case.
I don't know. That whole thing is...
But it almost, I feel like that's probably the first time Bran has really explained that to anyone. Because they were all just like, okay.
I wonder what their plan is for killing Viserion, too.
They didn't talk about that. And I feel like that is a major issue. They probably should have been like, how should we kill this dead dragon?
Right. Yeah. Although...
I feel like that's kind of important.
I thought maybe that's what
By the
Arya...
way, I really like your... Sorry, I didn't comment on it, but I really like it.
I'm glad. It looks
It's
just like
so
what you have.
understated, but like really nice.
You do like it?
Yeah, I do.
Cool.
Sorry, anyway.
What was I saying?
Arya, something about
Oh, I thought maybe that's what Arya wanted Gendry to make.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did too.
You did.
Yeah.
And so...
I didn't click what it was until I was like, oh yeah, she was blind and she fought like with that staff thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now she has a stick
One with
death
dragon
on the
glass. That's what it is, right?
Dragon glass, yeah.
Okay. I thought so. I assume so.
So, yeah, I was just surprised that that's not what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be something that like came apart and like...
Speaking of spears, and I know this is whatever, but at the very end, there are all those whites with spears, and it just makes me really nervous for the dragons.
Well, I'm also curious because Arya brought up Dragonfire, right? Or what is it called? Dragonfire?
Yeah, the dragon's fire.
Oh, I thought they were talking about the green that Cersei used
That's
to blow.
wildfire.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Dragonfire. Oh, yeah, because then Bran was like, I don't know, nobody's ever tried.
Right.
And so for some reason I was thinking Arya had something up her sleeve. I mean, like, she
probably
does, but, you know. I just thought that weapon was going to have something to it, you know.
Yeah.
It might.
It might. I don't know.
I doubt it, though.
Probably
I think it is just, like, the staff.
We're just going to see her be really badass with it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and then the meeting is over, and then Jon leaves without saying anything to Dany, and you're like, oh god, he's got to tell her soon, or this is going to get really awkward.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, why is he ignoring me?
Yeah.
And it made me feel bad for her. Oh, and then everyone leaves but Bran and Tyrion pulls up a chair next to Bran, and he's like, you know, tell me what's going on. And Bran's like, well, it's a long story. And then nothing, we don't get it. And so, and also, like, the next time we see Tyrion, he's, like, chilling with his homies. And so it wasn't a very long story he had to tell.
He doesn't
apparently.
really say anything else about it either. Tyrion is just like...
I just wonder what went on there, and if he really did go into this long story about who he is now, or what.
He's like, well, it all started when your brother pushed me out of a window.
Like, is this gonna come back around? Like, this is more Tyrion stuff that I'm like, what's going on?
I'm slightly confused by that.
I want to know what's going on with Tyrion.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Missandei and Grey Worm have this little moment together where,
which is really sweet.
He's
They're like, we don't want to live here in this racist place anymore.
It's real cold and sucks.
People don't talk to us.
Yeah, and she wants to go back to Narth.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was really
I feel
sweet.
like they're gonna die.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really sweet when she was like, my people are peaceful people, and we can't defend ourselves.
I wonder if she's gonna be in the crypts.
And he was like, my people can defend us.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. I've never seen her fight. I don't think she fights.
I've never seen her fight either, so...
I think she's just an advisor / helper.
Yeah.
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 Secretary.
I would imagine that she would be in the crypts. I'm pretty much betting that any women and children are going to be in the crypt, minus women who want to fight and are fighting or whatever.
Are able. I mean,
Yeah.
Lady Mormont is going to be fighting. I love that part.
Yeah.
And
Man, she told him.
She's the one that said every woman from Bear Island will be all fighting.
Yeah.
And so
I was like,
I'll be curious to see when the battle happens, like how many women are actually out there.
yeah. I thought that was really cool though. And I also thought like how weird of a dynamic that must be for Mormont, Jorah, who's like this older man and saying, "Yes, my lady," to like a little 8-year-old, and she's just like, "I'm gonna fight."
Yeah. Oh man, I love
And
it. Oh, and then we see Ghost.
I know. I saw him very briefly, and I was like, "There's Ghost."
And that was it. There was no
There
interaction.
was literally nothing else.
He seemed kind of small to me too. Like Nymeria, I remember seeing Nymeria and she seemed bigger. I don't know, but maybe that was because she was standing on a rock next to Arya, who's so tiny. Direwolves are supposed to be real big.
Yeah.
Like, bigger than wolves.
I pictured them to be like waist height.
Really? Because I thought when Ghost grew up, he'd be like shoulder height.
Oh my gosh.
Like his head.
Well, you've read the books too. So the books, did they make it seem like bigger than what they are in the show?
I can't remember. It ends season 5. The last book ends with Jon dying.
Yeah.
And so it's that far back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
A good bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if at that point Ghost is supposed to be full grown or not, and I can't remember like how big he's supposed to be at that point.
Right.
So that's where that is.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that we only got like a very brief. I'm expecting him to be shown more in the next episode with the fighting and stuff.
Yes. And I would assume that's why they brought him back.
They're like, "Oh, look, he's here."
It'd be really cool if like Nymeria and her pack showed up.
Yeah, it would.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So Sam is like defending himself against Ed, and Jon is saying,
Yeah.
I'm the first. Everyone seems to forget that I was the first person to kill a White Walker and blah blah blah, and you guys need me, and I just thought that was so sweet.
Yeah.
And
he's like grown so much as a character as well.
has.
Like, and I loved how he was like, "I've stolen tons of books."
I know.
I was like, okay.
That to him is like a really big deal, though.
Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah,
But it was
that's the
just
first thing he told Danny was
it
like,
was so
"Could you pardon me
cute.
for all these books that I took?"
It was so cute.
Yeah, it was adorable.
Yeah, and I really he's really stepped it up, and he's definitely not Craven anymore, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love him.
Me too.
I think he's gonna die.
Yeah. I don't want him to.
I'm gonna cry so much.
And then Tyrion and Jaime are sitting there, and he's like, wish Father could see us now, about to defend Winterfell, and I was just like, oh man.
Elrond said, "You killed him."
Yeah, he did. And then Brienne and Podrick come in, and I thought it was so, I don't know, just sweet. And I just love all those characters so much. Everyone that just comes in to sit down. Davos comes in, Tormund.
That was my
Podrick,
favorite scene because I just wanted to hang out with them.
And like
I don't know,
Tyrion
it just-
fills Podrick's cup all the way to the top. It's like overflowing.
Half a cup.
Oh, and I loved when Jaime stood up and he's like, "Lady Brienne," and Tyrion was like, he just looked at him like, interesting, And oh man, I want them to be together so bad.
Yeah, it was just so sweet. And Tormund, fuck tradition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like
We're not there yet,
yes.
actually. There's
Okay.
a little bit of time before that scene. But that's the scene where he talks about suckling the giant's teat. And then chugs the beer. The horn of
I
ale.
thought it looked like milk because it was white
No,
coming down
it was
his...
just frothy.
I just assumed.
He didn't milk a giant.
I just assumed it was milk, and so they were like playing up that,
No. That'd be funny though. Okay, and then we have the Hound and Arya. They have like a little moment together, and then Beric comes in. And we're reminded that Beric has died and come back to life 19 times.
But his dude died.
Yeah, his dude did die. But I was reminded of when you said, I think that he's going to be important later.
I do. I don't know what it is, but I think
the Lord of Light has brought him back 19 times, so he has like a purpose that he has to fulfill.
He does have like a sword of light.
He does have a sword of light.
So,
I just felt like the fact that we were reminded of that was
important,
because it would be important. Yeah, that he would fulfill his true purpose or whatever that is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, cool.
I think he will die, and I think it will be the final time though.
Yeah. Then Arya's like, I'm not spending the last nights I have on Earth.
2 old miserable shits or something like that.
Yeah. And then and then we see her practicing archery. Which I don't think I've ever seen. No, we have. In the very beginning in Winterfell, she was...
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, I don't think I ever saw her.
Yeah. Anyway, Gendry brings her his weapon that he made under her design, which we talked about. He reveals the fact that, he's Robert's bastard.
Yeah.
And that gave her pause.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got all like, how many women have you been with? And I thought she was like being all jealous and stuff, but then she like went for it.
I thought she was for a second too, and my husband said, where is this going?
Right.
And then she said something else, and he said, oh, yeah, exactly where I think it is. And he also did bring up the point, how old is she supposed to be? And I said, in the show right now, I said, I think she's somewhere from like 17 to 20 years old.
I don't know
in
how
the
old.
show.
Oh, in the show. Yeah.
In real life, she is 22. I saw an article
I just looked that up.
about that because, people were making memes about like, it was a chart, and it was like, how many times people have Googled how old Maisie Williams is now, you know, after this episode.
Right.
So a lot of people were talking about, how old is she?
Yeah.
Is she old? Should I be watching this right now? You know?
Yeah, I thought that was really well done.
Yeah,
I
really
like that it
liked
wasn't
that.
full frontal. I don't think my heart could have taken that.
Yeah, and she was very modest as well. She didn't get
you
got side boob and side butt.
butt.
And I think that was perfect. And I loved how he saw the scars and she was like, I'm not the red woman.
Yeah. Take your own pants off.
Yeah.
You should have seen my face though. I was like this, like all in shock, and Spencer was like, what's wrong? And I was like, it's a baby Arya. But she's a woman now.
She is. She doesn't need to prove herself.
Also, the part of it is that the actress is like 5'1".
She's very short, yeah.
And so
she looks extremely young as well.
Yeah, she doesn't necessarily look 22 in my opinion. No.
She's gorgeous though.
She's so beautiful. Yeah.
But I was totally in that camp of them getting together, and they did, and I was like, all right.
Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, it made me happy. Okay, and then Lady Mormont insists on fighting. We talked about that. Sam gives Jorah his family sword.
Oh, I thought that was so sweet.
I did think it was sweet, but also I think about, like, do you remember when Tyrion has his trial and Bronn fights for him? Yes. And there's, I can't remember who he killed, but Lysa insisted that he have their sword and fight with their sword, and I remember them saying like that was a disadvantage for him because that wasn't his sword, you know.
Lysa insisted who fought with whose sword?
Lysa insisted that the man who fought for her against Bronn.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Have
like their
John
sword.
Aaron's sword or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was like a disadvantage because it wasn't his sword and he wasn't used to wielding it.
It's a different weight. It's just there's a lot of factors in that.
So I was like, just made me a little nervous. I don't think
it does seem like a really big sword.
It was really big.
It was huge, right?
Okay. So, you know, Jorah's a really good sword fighter, and so maybe that's not an issue that we need to worry about at all. And I think if it was,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and I think if it was an issue for him, he would have said, "Thank you, but I need to use this sword."
Well, and that's really interesting to me too, because I mean, Jon Snow basically has his family sword, Mormont's family sword.
He does, yeah. So that was interesting too. Before the Lady Mormont scene, I forgot. That's the scene that I wanted to talk about. My absolute favorite scene, which was Brienne getting knighted.
Oh my gosh,
that's
when I teared up.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it starts out with Tyrion saying, you know, I think we might live, and everyone laughs, haha. And then he says something to Sir Brienne, and then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Lady Brienne. And
he was naming off like all the battles they've all survived.
Yes. And then
Jaime's
a knight
just
can knight another knight.
Wait a second.
And it was just, when she's like, I never even wanted to be a knight. And Podrick's like,
yeah.
You did.
They shared that look, her and Podrick, and I was like,
I love that part. And then he's like, come on, let's do it. And she's like,
yeah.
You know? And then he's like, no. Really? Do you want to be knighted? And she's like, okay. And her slow walk over there, where their eyes are locked, it was so sensual to me. Did you feel that way?
No.
And I was like, oh my God. And then she kneels, and it's just so profound. And his voice as he's dubbing her. And it was just the most
everybody,
thing.
even like Tyrion and everybody scooted their chairs around.
Yeah, Tyrion stood up.
Yeah.
And everyone, it was just like, I felt like they were making history, and there was just so few to witness, but it was just so beautiful.
Well, and see, when I was watching it, I was thinking about like Brienne feeling probably like, this is so silly, like this doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And then like, you're about to die tomorrow. Just let this like sink in and let yourself accept like you're being knighted, you know? And just like how heavy that moment is.
And it's her validation.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially from Jaime.
Yeah.
That was such a great scene.
And she tears up, and then she gives that big smile.
Yeah.
And I was just,
and Tormund's just...
yeah.
He's so great, though.
He's so
like
goofy.
so encouraging. And everybody was, you know, to Sir Brienne.
Yeah. She's my favorite character.
Yeah. So good. So good.
Okay, we only have 2 more scenes to go.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, and so then there's just this moment where Podrick sings. I knew...
Beautiful voice.
Yes, I knew when Tyrion said, does anyone sing, that it was going to be Podrick, and...
Oh, I didn't.
I feel like, or someone said that Podrick had sung in a previous episode, but I do not remember
I don't
that.
remember. I feel like he probably did.
I don't remember. But it was so beautiful.
Just the lyrics of it and his voice, and then the scenes, how they did the scenes with everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm
getting chills. I'm getting chills talking about it.
We got a little bit of Grey Worm and Missandei.
Yeah.
And then Theon and Sansa.
Which I was really surprised to see that they were together.
Yeah.
But I really liked that.
And they were giving each other like I feel like they're just there to like be with someone, but at the same time it seemed a little like romantic a little bit almost.
I kind of felt that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also we talked about Gilly and Sam.
Oh, just laying in bed and like the baby sleeping and them awake. And like that's so like realistic though, you know, because like as parents that is what would happen. Like this something is coming. Like when we have tornado warnings, it's like, okay, let's go sleep in the hallway, and the babies sleep while the parents lay awake looking at each other, thinking about like, is it safe yet? You know, like that's just, I don't know, just that.
It was really beautiful.
Oh, and they weren't speaking because like, what can you say?
Yeah.
You know.
Over that
I'm gonna
music
cry.
of him singing.
Oh no, I loved it so
it was
much.
So beautiful.
Though.
And I loved how when the credits rolled, it was Florence and the Machine singing.
Was that who it was?
Yes.
It was. She did a really good job.
It was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I would listen to that again.
I like that song a lot too.
I do too. The last scene.
Yeah.
They're in the crypts. Jon is looking at Lyanna Stark's statue, and he tells Dany his true parentage.
Yeah.
And I was so tense.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to believe it.
No.
Which I understand.
So disappointed in her though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's her first reaction. She might, once thinking about it, have something different to say. I mean, she might say, do you want, like, ask him, do you want the Iron Throne?
No, I'm just disappointed that, like, her first reaction is to say, like, oh, well, you're the true heir. Which, I mean, I guess that is, like, it makes sense, but at the same time, I'm like, you're not alone. Like, you have family that you slept with, but, like, you know, your brother that you loved, and, I mean, you didn't know, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just was, I didn't expect her to, like, accept it, but I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
I was just disappointed that, like, that's the
it.
first thing
She's
she latched
like,
onto.
how convenient, almost, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is lame. I mean, and then they get interrupted by the horn.
Yeah.
And they go up to the parapets, is what I'm calling it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then...
that's what I think they are.
Yeah. Tyrion is standing there. They have this look, and Jon nods to her, like, you ready?
Yeah. Like,
And then they walk away purposefully, and I'm thinking, like, they're going to go get on the dragons.
I felt like that exchange, that little nod was like, okay, this is done for now. Like, it's time to
do what we need to do.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Go take care of business.
Yeah,
and we'll deal with this later.
Yeah. But I felt like when they walked...
Dragon time!
When they walked away, it was like, dragon, dragon, dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so nervous. And their whole plot with, like, Bran on the open, and I don't know.
Well, he's going to be in the Godswood, so not necessarily out in the open.
With Theon and the Ironborn, I think that's really cool. Also, we never got Cersei once in this episode.
We didn't. Interesting.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I didn't miss her.
I didn't either. Good.
I think Tyrion and Sansa will get married, and then they will be king and queen.
What?
Of the Seven Kingdoms.
No. I think Sansa and Dany are gonna get married.
Sansa and Dany.
No. That clearly is not gonna happen. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know who's gonna sit the throne.
I want Jon to live, but I'm afraid that he's gonna die, and I don't want him to. He's my favorite character. I said Brienne's my favorite character, but it's Jon.
There's a lot of favorite characters. I think a lot of my favorite characters are gonna die. I'm really big on, like, side characters. You get, like, a little bit of their story of, and then that's it. Like Davos. Love Davos.
I love Davos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my faves. I also really want Jaime and Brienne to be together.
Alright, I'm gonna be straight up honest, though. At this point, if Dany died, I'd be like, eh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I hate saying that. I love Dany. But
I used to, but man, I explained to my husband that theory of, like, her going mad, like the Mad King, like her dad. Mm-hmm. And I explained, like, oh, I think that's might be why they're kind of, like, pushing that edge to her this season, but, like, really making her kind of dislikable, to me, at least, this season. I'm like...
I'm not, like, totally against her either. I feel
like she could pull it around, and I just, like, she's in a place that she doesn't know. And
I'm rooting for her. I'm rooting for all of them.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them all.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Especially the White Walkers.
Those are the ones I was talking about.
Yeah, that last scene was great, though. But I will say, I was really hoping for, like, a wide view instead of just, like...
I don't know, those guys with their spears made me so nervous.
Yeah, well, because, okay, you have, like, the dead, right? Mm-hmm. And then the White Walkers are the other, like, main king-ish guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the dead, and then you have the, like, level up who create them. And then you have, like, the Night King. So, what do you call those? You have the Night King. Mm-hmm. And then...
Night Whites.
What are those guys? The Night Whites?
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to call them?
I like it.
And then White Walkers just encompass all of them, right?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know the correct terminology. I was just curious.
Right. Well, we did get a wide view of how big their army is as they were marching through the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as they destroyed the wall last season.
That's true.
That's all I want to say. So, yeah, I'm real nervous for everyone. It's the battle.
For Winterfell.
Yeah.
I think it's going to Winterfall.
All right, I think we got it.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
I don't know, you guys.
I'm excited.
I don't know.
Let me know what you thought about this episode. We loved it. When you play the game of tomes.
You read or you die.
Come be our friends. Social media links in the description below.
And we hope you're reading a great book.
Bye.
Bye.